Hello, all you beautiful beings. Firebird is in. That's something I have going on. Excuse the background noise. I do live on a college campus. Some of my fellow kids are quite loud. Yeah. So this is a live stream, Saturday, March 9th. Daylight savings time starts tomorrow. Or daylight saving time. Yeah, that's it. There's no, it's not plural. I learned that last year. But anyway, yeah, it's been a busy time. There's so much. I'm taking 3 sociology classes this semester and 1 statistics class, which I'm actually retaking because I think the last time I took it was when I was at community college and I got a D+. But any math class you take here any class you take for your degree here as a behavioral and social sciences major has to be, you have to have gotten at least a C-. So I'm retaking it and drinking lots of energy drink. It's my second one today. I wonder if I gave them a ringing endorsement, Xavia would basically sponsor my channel. But that's neither here nor there. So I just wanted to shoot the breeze about some things I have in motion. Some things I'm doing for my classes. One of the classes I'm taking is actually really, really fascinating. It's a sociology upper. Oh, hey, some random geek. It is a sociology class called Society, Biology, and Health, and basically, our main focus in this class is basically we've done a lot of reading about the biology of the brain and how it affects human behavior, and our professor wants us to each pick a topic of an act of violence that's happened within the last 10 years. About excuse me, and basically analyze it from that angle. She wants us to follow a lot of media about it, and I figured, excuse me, this is worse than the regular Xavia when it comes to that. I knocked something over. I'll pick it up later. But as you may or may not know, I am a huge true crime junkie. So when I heard this project, I was just like, oh, there's so much I can choose from. I ended up choosing the very recent case out of Colorado, Chris Watts, who murdered his, oh god, it's really heartbreaking, but like from a certain angle, a lot of things about it are kind of fascinating. Chris Watts, who murdered his pregnant wife and their 2 baby girls. It's such a sad story, but like, I'm into true crime, so I'm very interested in like the psychological aspect of it, and wow, that case is a Baskin Robbins of interesting criminal psychology stuff. I mean, even if you just watched that one media interview Watts did before it came out that he actually did it, actually pretty, just like, I've watched videos by like body language experts who basically talk about how, okay, he's so obviously lying. Look at the way he talks about his wife and his kids, who at this point, all we as outsiders knew was that they were missing. But he just talked about it so casually. Basically, I can link some. I'll definitely link on my community tab to some to some of those videos. It's really interesting. Basically, though, for this project, we're supposed to be just kind of following things in terms of like there's criminal psychology, which is very interesting to me. It's interesting also to watch interviews with his parents. Not saying too much, his mother, for one thing, seems like she's just a glorified enabler who has basically enabled her son to just grow up to have this just attitude of like I can do no wrong, I can do what I want, I'm cheating on my wife, and like when I don't want my wife and my family anymore, I can just kill them. It reminds me a lot of Diane Downs. That's another case this one's from the early 80s. Diane Downs, she had driven her children to the hospital. They'd all been shot. One of her daughters was dead. Her son turned out to be paralyzed, and then her older daughter had a stroke. Those two survived, but the other daughter passed, unfortunately. Okay, so for those who don't know the case of Diane Downs, she had driven her injured children to the hospital, saying that they'd been shot by a carjacker, and she'd just been like doing all she could to get them to the hospital. What actually tipped people off, like investigators and such, was the next days following the children being injured and one of her daughters dying. She had a calm and even jovial attitude about the whole thing, and so. And as it turned out, you can find videos about this story all over YouTube. But as it turned out, she had shot her children. There was no carjacker, and she took her sweet time getting to the hospital. As it turned out, she wanted to be with a married man who didn't want children and wasn't interested in pursuing a relationship with her. That's basically it. I actually submitted a story about her for the real life section of the TV trope page for the sociopath, which is not a word I like to use. I submitted that, and I just kind of one of the things on links for submitting real life stories to that is that the person has to actually have been diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, which, from what I understand, Downs was. Yeah, so the Chris Watts case really just like oh god, it was this all over again, except there was a pregnant spouse involved. Ugh. And his babies really are gone. It's just I mean, I think about little kids. I think about my cousins, my nieces, and my nephew, and I'm just like, how can you just hurt them, especially if you're their father? It's just, I know not everyone's a stand-up father, and it's just like, he wanted to be with his girlfriend. I commented this on another page, like, because people want to blame his mistress, but it's just like, no, even if his mistress told him directly, kill your wife and your daughters, which I severely doubt she did, he could have said no. He could have said, I'm not doing that. He could have walked out on them. Oh, hi, Rihanna. He could have walked out on them. He'd still be a piece of shit if he did that, but at least they'd still be here. It's just, I get annoyed in cases like that, where people always want to blame the mistress or blame the girlfriend when, like, it's just, I guess maybe it doesn't help that, like, Chris Watts is another one of those violent criminals who gets real life Draco and leather pants treatment. No, Rihanna, I'm talking about Chris Watts because I'm doing a Rihanna came in late. I'm doing a project about him for one of my sociology classes. But yeah, it's like like I mean like as annoyed as I get by like people giving fictional characters Draco and Leather Pants treatment, as annoyed as I get by that, that's just harmless fantasy. When you do it to people in real life, it's just like, no. People there are people who have sent him love letters in prison to his real side. I'm just like, he murdered his wife who's pregnant, carrying his child, his two little baby girls. It's just like, and you want to send him love letters and have this mindset of, oh, I can change him, or maybe he just needs a hug. Yeah, I'm sure Stalin would have been a better person if he'd just gotten a hug. Jesus Christ. Uh, yes, Rihanna. His parents are enablers. And that's another thing I don't get. I mean, my mom so rarely gets to see my nieces and my nephew. She resents like she always talks about like I want to see my grandchildren. I guess I get kind of annoyed when she says that to me because I know she doesn't care about this, but it almost feels like she's looking at me saying, well, I don't know, maybe eventually I'll have a kid when I'm an accomplished sociologist. Probably not. Let's have dogs. Probably be married with dogs. Like, Mom, say hello to your granddaughter, and she'll be like, no, my mom adores dogs, so she wouldn't mind that. But so I kind of went off on a rant there about like the Chris Watts case because like that's I don't even know if like he would have the kind of brain responses that this class kind of talks about because like even talking about his for fuck's sake, I thought I'd turn off those notifications. For even when he talks about like what he did, like in that confession, I couldn't even listen to the whole thing. Um, it's just like with so much mundanity, it's just like, did he even feel anything while he was doing it? Did his brain even react? I don't know. But I definitely will look more into that. Okay, so that's one class. Another class I'm taking is about social movements. Specific. It's like, yes, this is my one area of kind of expertise. But yeah, we're supposed to pick a social movement and kind of talk about it on its different levels. I chose the food justice movement because I don't feel like that gets enough attention. I kind of had to. Well, my professor in that class kind of wanted me to better more elaborate on what kind of things I wanted to cover about the food justice movement. So I talked about, well, yeah, there's overlap with other movements, farm workers movements, it's getting food to underserved communities, improving food access, even the animal rights movement, like the Food Empowerment Project. They're a vegan movement, but they're also a food justice movement. They're a vegan organization rather, and they're also food justice. So yeah, he basically okayed it. So I'll be doing another project about that. It's all just very. I'm exhausted. You see, I have exhausted eyes. Hello, 8DX. So, in terms of YouTube, I've actually scripted a video and I've done most of the audio for it. It's a video response. It's another video response to She One Head, her thin privilege video, her most recent one. I get so annoyed. I get really annoyed when people tell me she's one of the nice anti-SJWs and she's so nice and cute and she likes bunnies and shit. It's just like, I like cute hats and adorable little ponies. It proves nothing. But it's another but like I kind of talk I'm going to be kind of talking about this in that video, but like another claim I hear from a lot of people, even like some of my fellow leftists, is that she somehow changed and is a different person than she was back when she came to prominence 2015 2016. And I'm kind of just like, no, she hasn't changed. She has not changed one goddamn bit. She knows turfs are bad. bravo. But like, she's not changed one bit. I mean, even like that. I'm gonna have that video response up soon. I got tired of the glare. But like, she's just as nasty and mean-spirited as she ever was. But I can't tell her that because she blocked the mean lady on social media. Mean lady being me. Maybe I should try to see if that worked for me. Like, how can people block me and be afraid to talk to me? I'm so cute and I like adorable hats and ponies and doggies. I love all the cuteness, so why are you afraid to talk to me? But I cannot do that because, unlike June, I actually realized that I'm not a toddler. And, yeah. Ugh. As for other videos, there are a lot of videos I'd like to do. I mean, not this coming week, but next week is spring break, so we'll see. But I'm also going to be dog sitting for my aunt. So I'll be here part of the time. I'll be there the other part of the time. Yeah, she just lives in Tacoma Park, so it's not too far from here. So another thing I thought of making a response to is another Magaga Morscar video. I just I wasn't going to, like I said, in my last video response to him, the one where he was defending Tucker Carlson from the mean old home demo protesters. I kind of said, this is going to be my last video response to him. I'm tired of complaining about him. My viewers are probably tired of hearing me complain about him. That video was less complaining and more just mocking. I should do another video like that where I just have my British translator either make responses while I just sit there grinning like a little shit. It's actually just a text-to-speech app that I have very loud fellow kids here. But yeah, I thought of making a video response to one of his videos where he whines about people identifying as something other than men and women. I want to make a response to one of those. He has at least two. And the reason for that is, okay, so a few weeks ago, I went to, it was recommended to me. I went to one of his live streams with, he does like live streams with another guy and two women. But like, sometimes I'll just drop into the chat and just I won't insult anybody. I'll just say random things. But people also in that chat think that I'm just a troll, and I'm just like, I'm not a troll. I'm just mingling. But this one time he okay, it started with one of his female co-hosts kind of what is it that you can do? You can time people out. She timed me out because I said in response to something that there's nothing wrong with non-binary people because, well, I would have said this before I came out, but you know. So one of his female co-hosts timed me out, and like, and so they started talking about me. He kind of opined about, like I've gone back and forth with her. She's not a pleasant person. She's very unhappy with herself and very unhappy with her life. It's just like, well, geez, I'm sorry. I am so sorry that that people who are basically trying to get on the road to health and get their lives on track after being dealt a shitty hand by. Don't want to go into that. I'm sorry that because of that, I'm not Little Miss Mary Sunshine 24/7. And he started bitching about how I hate conservatives, and I'm just that is always my favorite. How people will be like, oh my god, disabled queer black woman, what did conservatives ever do to you? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, do you want the unabridged annotated version, or will the Cliffs Notes suffice? What have they done? Oh my god. Whew. But I let it go. Okay, so what else happened? He made some kind of backhanded comment about how I wish her all the best in school. School is hard. And then one of his female co-hosts called me the R slur, and I'm just like, bitch, excuse you. And he starts laughing his head off and coughing in the middle. I'm just like, I hope you hack up a lung. Jesus. Jamie J. Side Quest, which is like a live stream Magog of Morscar does with another guy and two women. The other guy wasn't here in this particular live stream. So basically, after I was timed back in, I made a comment in the chat like, "Oh, so now you're an armchair psychologist, are you, Maggie?" So his co-host thought I was talking to her, but he said, "No, she's talking to me. See, it's her obsession with me. Even though you called her the Arsler, she's still obsessed with me." I'm just like, bitch, you wish I was. The truth is, I really do love his aesthetic, the whole goth, like, fantasy, kind of horror, speculative fiction kind of deal. I actually really like it, and it's like, even when they just talk amongst themselves, I think like, if politics weren't involved, we could probably actually be friends. Like, but people say things like, well, why can't you be friends with people because of politics? It's just like, because disagreeing with politics isn't about like me being friends with someone who doesn't like My Little Pony or who loves romantic comedies. It's like, that stuff doesn't affect me. I can just we can agree to disagree. We can watch something we both agree on when we get together. But when you promote ideas and you support politicians who actively threaten my life, I can't be friends with you. I'm sorry. It usually comes from people who don't really have anything to lose from differing political opinions. But it's like, yeah. So okay, I regret to say it didn't stop there, because after that, oh god, Magog made a comment about how she's obviously sexually attracted to me, and she can't express it, and she can't express it to me, so she just does the angry girl thing. Yes, neckbeards really do think that real life is just like anime. I don't know what else. What do you even say to that? I was just like, God. Oh, God. He wishes I was sexually attracted to him because, I am a goddess. But, and then his female co-hosts, one of them made an asinine comment about how maybe she wants to ride your Phoenix. And I'm just like, you will not make me hate my own name. Does this neckbeard have a 2D waifu girlfriend? Oh my god. That reminds me, I did actually. He made some video bitching about queer kid stuff. I included part of that video in my video defending queer kid stuff, but like, excuse me, because this queer kid stuff video was talking about Frozen, and like, someone made a comment about how Magog was probably in love with Elsa, and I replied to them, he fantasizes about cheating on his anime body pillow with her. I I like to go on his comment section and just be a little shit. He gets very annoyed by that, and I'm just like, why? I'm just joking. Can't you just take a joke up some random geek? Yes, I know Frozen 2 is coming out. I hope they can do something more clever with it, but like, I gave it a chance to stop sucking, and it sucked. Yeah, I've been planning for a very long time to do like a critique of Frozen on this channel, and I have like most of it written out. Like, I'm afraid of sounding too much like other critics. Like, oh my god, I watched good critics. I watched Lindsay Ellis and Lily Orchard. I was worried that at parts I would sound like either both of them, but you know what? If you want to sound like really, it's really great to sound like really talented ladies, because they're because there would be one point in that video wherein I would be talking about how the twist in Frozen was stupid, how it wasn't well constructed, and like basically kind of do a 5 stupid things about the twist. Okay. I don't know how many of you guys have seen Frozen, but like, basically there are 5 stupid things about the twist in it. Like, one a one one a monarch has like a a but one a man who marries a princess doesn't won't become a king if that princess becomes queen, because like, it's still her nation, her kingdom. Um, okay, well, no, that wasn't one of the things. But one of the things I mentioned was like, even if Hans, the villain of the movie. By the way, Frozen writers, really great job naming, as a tribute to the writer, I guess. Christ. But like, basically, if even if he had succeeded in killing the queen and the princess, it still wouldn't necessarily make him king. Like, if they have an aunt or an uncle or a cousin, they could rightfully claim the throne. Um, for another thing, it's like it's for another thing. What was another thing I thought of? Christ. It's a little convenient that they all just bought that Anna the princess was dead. It's like, did these people not even care about giving? She was next in in line for the throne, so you don't even care about giving her a proper burial. Just gonna leave her dead body in this room. It's just like, it's all kind of convenient. Also, Regency was never explained or anything like that. It's just like, I don't know. Honestly, the movie would have been so much better if Elsa were the villain. Like, listen to Over the Moon and from Rent and tell me that Idina Menzel doesn't have the perfect, like, sassy anti-villainous voice. Doesn't fit the mopey sad sack they turned her character into, who's basically now one of my least liked characters in all of media. Basically, because like, the worst thing a character can be is like a Karma Houdini. It's just like, but she gets easily forgiven in the end because the plot demands it. It's like, I've joked, well, half joked, that movie should have ended with the peasant uprising and them slicing her head off for like freezing them out in the middle of summer during probably a harvest season. I mean, it wouldn't have made up for anything else, but at least I could say that the movie had the most satisfying ending possible. You know, for kids. Oh God, what was I talking about? I went so off track. Yeah. So, oh yeah, I was talking about Magog of his scenic mother's basement. So yes, I will be doing another video response to him eventually. It's just like, and he got so mad. He got so mad when I kept messing with him, and I'm just like, I mean, he's just another conservative snowflake who can dish it out but can't take it. But such is life. It's like, I almost wish I could do YouTube full time just so I could do a better version of a character like that. But as it is, I'm just trying to get through my PhD program. I'm not even in the PhD program yet, but I'm trying to work toward it and get into it, and hopefully by summertime I'll have a subsidized housing near here. Oh hey, Deadman Animations. So I can at least have kind of my own space, room for my toys, and maybe an emotional support animal. Apparently you have to adopt an animal and get them approved to be an emotional support animal, and also get some kind of verification from a counselor. I'll be seeing a counselor pretty soon. So yes, I'm stimming on Rainbow Dash. Thanks ATX. So I went to Bomb's Organic Market today. Christ, why do I keep forgetting where I went? There are so many organic markets vaguely around here. I went to Roots Market. I took I took 2 buses out to Olney. Jamie J says Applejack and Rainbow Dash is the best lesbian power couple. Excuse me. I don't know. I kind of ship Applejack and Rarity. Yeah, I have a Rarity too. Yep, lady of class and elegance. But I've actually been thinking a lot about an emotional support animal and how much good that could do me. Not just because I miss my dogs, although I really miss them. It's even little things like I miss them being underfoot in the kitchen while I'm cooking. There's a kitchen here, but it's really small. I miss Loki jumping up on my bed to be with me. God, I miss them so much. Well, they're like wallpapers on my lock screen and my background on my phone. So, my dear Ray, you have a Loki too. Yes, my little brown. Well, yeah, my little brown dog, or my family's little brown dog. He lives out in Gaithersburg. Yeah, he lives up to his name. I thought of maybe if I got some money commissioning someone who makes dog costumes, commissioning them to make a costume for him so he can be like the other Loki. Oh yes, Dead Man Animations noticed my skull. That's Yorick. He keeps all the banshees away. I assume because I don't see any banshees. Yep. Yes, Jamie J. Banshees. I believe the myth of those is that they sing in a really shrill way, and that's a signal that you are going to die. Dear old York. I remember my first Instagram post, which is an up close picture of him, titled "Hello, children." How nice of you to come visit us. I don't even know what that voice is that I give him. Vaguely Tim Curry, or not. I think my voice is too deep for that. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, I'm head is sweaty. I have to go to the community center pretty soon and get the rest of my clothes that I washed and dried. And I don't want my. It's like I realized a few times I switched back and forth between wanting to do response videos and not do response videos on my channel. I've come to the point where I'm just like, okay, I'll do response. I like response videos, so I'll do them. But I don't want that to be the entirety of my channel. I thought of also doing a video about just non-binary genders, how they exist all over the world, how they're nothing new. I think a lot about myself, like, am I validly non-binary? Because I still mostly use she, her pronouns, but they, them, it's good too. I mean, my clothes are not particularly, like, masculine. Oh, Deadman Animations asked me, how's your vegan journey been? 9 years is going strong. I basically had to learn how to cook all over again, but it's been fun. But anyway, like one of my friends, do you follow Avery's Harper? Yeah, yes, I do. I quite like her work. Yeah, Jamie J. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would. Yeah, I think about it a lot, but like I'm just like, and I don't feel compelled to get any kind of alteration done to my body because like, I mean, I like my breasts. I like my badge. We're adults here. I can say that. I um I like my clothes, and it's just like I like my clothes. I like my beautiful little ponies. So it's like, why would I change that? It's like, and I've been thinking about like not feeling like completely a girl for as long as I can remember, really. Even when I was a little kid. Yeah, I guess I've thought about it a lot. I've asked other NB friends beforehand, like, how did you know? What did you think what did you think about yourself? And that's how I kind of realized it. I'm wearing Jack because I like stimming on the little strings, and because I'm having a very bad hair day. It's been a long time. It's been a long day. Roots Market is the closest market to me that sells these Zevia energy drinks. Uh, I really wish that Zevia would kind of sponsor my YouTube channel, but I don't have enough watch hours yet for a sponsor, unfortunately. Yeah, some random geek. I kind of feel the same way. Am I like I kind of thought about this. I have various videos on my channel talking about like saying I'm a cis woman, but I'm just like, do I really feel like a cis woman? I mean, I mean, uh, excuse me. But yeah, I actually kind of, I mean, when I feel like this, I kind of go back and watch videos from other NBs. I watched Riley Dennis's video. I think she has a couple videos about her own non-binary identities. Oh no. No, Deadman Animations, you're cis, but you're not a boar. Excuse me. Basically how Riley describes herself as a non-binary trans woman, and basically she goes more into that, like what all uh, what all uh, what all falls under the umbrella of non-binary, like demigender, bigender, agender, gender non-conforming, and genderqueer. Which, yeah, genderqueer sounds the most of like what I am, but like, yeah, so since it's under the non-binary umbrella, it's just like, yeah, I'm non-binary. I don't think I don't think I don't Yeah, that's a good point. Jamie J says, please don't refer to cisness as being boring. It displays in the trope of people choosing to identify as other genders because it's more attention grabbing. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's a good point. This is how I've always felt. Like, it's like there's, I mean, like, cisness is considered like the norm. Like, at least in American culture, it's considered the norm. But it's like, so what? It's not the norm. I mean, people. I mean, I guess people consider it more socially acceptable for children to like experience gender not conforming to typical gender roles, like little boys playing with dolls and little girls playing with trucks and Legos and such. Like, that's considered cute because we think because that's considered cute. Even like teenage girls and grown women and wearing like football jerseys and other things that are coded as masculine. That's considered cute, but like after a while, we start to think of it as not so cute. I mean, when I say we, I'm talking American culture in general, but it's like it's all socially constructed. It's like we can challenge it, we can change it, we can express our gender in different ways. I don't know. Uh, yeah, one of the biggest things I hear is like, even when talk I hear this in talks about trans people, about trans men, but also just about gender nonconforming AFAB people. Like, people say, we call that being a tomboy. It's just like maybe, but like, tomboy sounds like it plays into that thing I was kind of talking about, like how we consider childhood gender nonconformity to be cute, but when adults do it, they're just trying to get attention. It's just like, I just think it's, and considering, yep, that's right, Jamie J. You can be tomboy and NB it too. It's just like, considering how much harassment a lot of like trans and NB content creators get, if it were just for attention, do you really think that don't these people think that eventually they think it's not worth it? I'm not going to do this charade anymore. If we, I mean, assuming that these people are right about it being like attention grabbing, but who knows? Yeah, some random geek leggings are great. I'm wearing some right now. They're covered in coffee stains. So in other words, I've just had entirely too much caffeine today, and I'm much more awake than I should be at 10:14 at night. Uh, I think maybe like my disdain for like misgendering and transphobia and like just crappy crap from cis people. It's kind of partially why I've been like so annoyed with Magaga Morskar in general, because something that he's done since, at least since he's made a video response to made one video response. He made a very big thing about this, like how he doesn't like make repeated responses to people he doesn't like. He did in his one response to Riley Dennis. He said like multiple times, "That is a man," and like that's like one of his catchphrases now. It's just like that's one of his catchphrases now, and I guess I get annoyed by that because it's just like, it's like, what the fuck is your problem? Why do you need to misgender people? It's like, would you like it if someone misgendered you because of your lovely black lipstick? It's like, and there's nothing wrong with black lipstick. I have it myself. But like, but also like just the way that he in particular talks about even gay people, trans people, non-binary people, anyone who doesn't fit into his neat little bubble. It's just, uh, it's like he just plain shitty to them. And like, I get that his whole gimmick is that he's a character. His character is basically a sorcerer from another world who opens a veil to this world. And other things he thought of when he was on a date with Rosie Pons. The point is, I get that the whole thing is that he's that his character is like trying to understand our world, but it's just like it seems like you could do anything else with this concept, and you choose to just be a complete chode with it. It's just why? Why do you need to be a chode to? Why do you need to be such a chode to people of color, to trans people, to LGBT people in general? Why do you have to? Why can't you just? Yeah, he also misgendered me and apparently thought that was the funniest thing. Because I would get either annoyed or just perplexed when he would call me a guy. I was just like, why is that funny? Basically. Just like, I mean, it's so childish. Like, yeah, I started calling him Maggie, but technically that's just a shortened version of his username. It's like, it's not actual misgendering. And like, yeah, I don't know. Uh, but apparently the only reason he did that was to get under my skin, and he thought it worked, so he thought that he won. And apparently he said the reason he's never responded to any of my videos about him was because, in his words, she has 300 subscribers and she doesn't say anything smart. It's just like, I'm so wounded. And actually at the time he made this video, I was just cracking 950 subscribers. Yeah, thankfully now I'm over 1,000. It's just like, and his whole thing was, well, I don't want to respond to her because she's just gonna use it to share on Twitter and get her more subscribers to support her victimhood. And because now she's a victim of Magog. I'm just like, dear child, you see right through me, don't you? It's just like, why can't he be like that other little shit who responded to my social justice vegan video from 2 years ago and just realized like, you can make a video response to me. I can just sit back and tell you why you're wrong. Like, tell you why you're wrong, tell you why you're full of shit. It's just like, I don't need you to get subscribers, Jeremy. That's his name, obviously. Excuse me. I don't need you to get subscribers. I got over 1,000 subscribers on my own because people are here for me. I mean, I hope you guys are all here for me. It's, I don't know. Unfortunately, Medea Ray, I don't live with Loki at the moment. I will. I mean, maybe I'll get a new emotional support dog. Oh, you guys are here for me. I love you all. I love you all. Kiss, kiss. Yeah, I knew you were probably kidding. But yeah, I miss having Loki around. He'd be in the background. He sometimes helps me make a point, like in the April Fool's Day video with the Triscuits. Ugh. It's just, yeah, I mean, I've thought of making video responses to other people, like Roaming Millennial. Oh, I think she's just doing her videos under her actual name, Lauren Chen. But yeah, Roaming Millennial. I thought of doing. God, she has so much shit I can respond to. She has the same think of the children attitude about like teaching kids that LGBT people exist. As if she really cares about children. She's made a couple videos bitching about Bitch Magazine. I just realized what an odd sentence that was, but like, um, basically just mocking it for anything. Like, oh god, it's just like, well, you paid for the magazine, girl. That's on you. And like, she's made a lot of videos I could respond to. I thought of that. I mean, she kind of fits under the like pop bigotry umbrella, as Eric Taxon would call it. Subscribe to him; he is awesome. Yeah, Agent Black Dog. It's like people are afraid of LGBT people. They don't want to admit it, but they are. I've also thought about doing another response to some black guy. Eric Taxon, 8DX. Like, oh god. He's made a lot of videos I could respond to, but like, and it's just, I can respond to a lot of people, but you know, thought of responding to that old video, that Bob's old ass video, questions women have for feminists and SJWs. But it's like, I don't even know. I don't really think I want to dignify those videos with like any more attention. Just let that trend die eventually. Um, yeah, the last like video like question bombardment I responded to was questions black people have for SJWs. Um, entering the sunken place. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I say that as a joke, but like but some black guy might actually be in the sunken place. Like, get a camera. Like, but no, just like, I don't think some black guy gets nearly enough attention for being trash, basically. Since like, okay, what trashy things has he done? Well, he does apologia for quote unquote ironic racism. He's a massive transphobe. He plays defense attorney for anyone who's accused of racism against black people. He shits on Black Lives Matter. He made a really disgusting video talking about Tess Holiday, but like really fat shaming and really disgusting and really like fake concern trolling, which is always my favorite. Thanks, Dead Animations. But like, oh God, in that Tess Holiday video, he captioned not captioned, but he pinned a comment of his own saying, "I'd still bang a fatty though," and I was just thinking, thanks, now I can die happy. Fuck. It's like as if that makes it totes okay to call this woman a land whale for her horrible crime of being a magazine cover model. I can't speak today. It's just, you know, someone in one of Kevin Logan's sent a Manosphere videos from recently suggested that he do a response to some black guy. Someone else said, "Oh, he wouldn't do that because SJW is afraid to do that because they'll seem racist." And I was like, "Yeah, because it's not like he's ever done a response to a black right winger before, except that guy T, Zers, some asshole MGTOW who bitched about food stamps." Yeah, my comment basically said that, and I also said it, but seriously, Kevin, lay into that little shit. I wonder if actually a lot of like white progressives are just like worried about criticizing black conservatives. I wonder about it. Like, because people in the comment section for the original, okay, not the original, because Tyler Preston was like briefly suspended from YouTube, but like some guy on that guy T's re-upload of questions black people have for SJWs were just like, no SJW will ever respond to this. It'll be like that meme with the guy and the two buttons. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. So I just thought, at the time last year when I made it, I just thought, hey, people think that I'm an SJW. I can do it. Excuse me. Oh yes, some random geek. I saw that video. I don't mean all white progressives, but some. You know. Actually, I really appreciated this video. Lily Orchard's most recent Glass of Water video, where she talked about Sarah Z's criticisms of her, and Sarah Z included some of Sarah Z made a video about bad media criticism, specifically like clickbaity stuff, but she also included some of Lily Orchard's video criticizing Steven Universe. But even when I saw that video, I like Sarah Z. I like her and I like her videos. But even when I was watching that, I was just like, did we see the same video? Because Lily never said any of this shit. But like a point Lily Orchard made in her most recent Glass of Water was basically saying, like, if you're just here to support me because I'm a trans creator or creator of color, please go away. I don't want your support. It's like, and she said, well, we need more minority voices for sure, but like that doesn't always mean it's going to be good. And she cited, I think, Blair White, Candace Owens, and some guy some person with autism who is a spokesperson for Autism Speaks. She cited the three of them as like minority creators who spread bullshit about the minority they're a part of, which is I think is an excellent point. It's like I love to support other Black voices on YouTube. I don't want to support that guy T. I don't want to support some Black guy. Ugh, I don't want to support any of the people in that video. Yeah, Dead Man Animations. That's kind of why I made last year. I made that video response to questions Black people have for SJWs, because actually that video was probably full of more dishonest bullshit than the questions white men have for SJWs was. I mean, they were both completely full of shit, but like this was just, it was just insulting. Like, and they asked questions about why they get called Uncle Toms like three different times, like three different ways. I'm just like, oh my god, give me something else. I had said the first time that question like that was asked was that I wasn't really interested in using those kind of the phrases because I really think the discourse needs to be elevated beyond like calling people coon, Uncle Tom, and what have you. Which I do. I think we need to stop. I think that those are buzzwords that don't really help anything, and like it's and like the idea that there are a lot of Black people who basically seem to project this mindset that if they regurgitate white supremacist talking points, it's going to somehow save them. It somehow doesn't include them. Like the one token Black woman in that video was like talking about Western values and how they've improved life for people, and I basically said, I'm going to say it as close as I can remember to my words in that video. I kind of was like, honey, you know the people who trumpet Western values the loudest? How can I put this nicely? They don't like your Black ass either. I know it wasn't Tree of Logic. Miranda B. I think her name is Patty Politics. It's a little frightening that there are so many Black conservatives, let alone Black female conservatives, which is like, I remember one of my things I like to do when talking about Candace Owens is I compare her to Georgina, if that was her real name from Get Out. I share that meme just like where she's crying but also smiling and saying, no. That's fun. That scene was funny, but it also, once you learn the truth, it's very, very heartbreaking. Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent again. If you haven't seen Get Out, please go see it. It is bomb. And it has the best death scene ever. I know it's weird that I like talk about death scenes, but okay. People in the chat, can you please tell me if you've seen the movie, because I don't want to spoil anything, or if you don't care if I spoil things. God, such a beautiful death scene. Well, as the protagonist is escaping from his girlfriend's crazy family. Good night, Medea. Once he knocks the brother out, and seemingly kills him, but not really. He grabs a deer head off the wall, and when Rose's dad is looking in the hallway, he just rams it into his throat. It's like, just gonna casually look down the hallway. Bambi's revenge. Blood, and death. That was beautiful. What was real quick? 8DX. I was just talking about the death scene. It's beautiful. I I may need help. Yeah, but what? Yeah, yes, Jamie J, it does. My one of my little brothers was like really appalled by that, by like my reaction. I'm just like, but he was gonna take out the dude's brain. You gotta work with what you have at the moment. Plus irony. Uh, mm. Yeah, that's the one drawback of like Disney movies. I mean, I actually like a lot of the newer Disney villains. I know a lot of people bitch and moan like, "Oh my god, they're all like twist villains and they're not fun." It's like, yeah, but we have plenty of fun Disney villains. I think these newer ones are pretty good, but the one drawback of them is that none of them die, so like we don't get those creative death scenes that we had in say Mulan. What else? What else was a clever death scene? Mulan, Tarzan. The Tarzan death of the villain used to be the best death ever. Yeah, I'm something of a nightmare fetishist. Ugh. Yeah, I don't actually mind the fact that a lot of the newer Disney villains don't die. Uh, I agree, Jamie J. Hans was boring. One of the points I'm going to make in my critique, if I ever get up, is that Rose from Get Out was basically what Hans should have been. Like that, like that's like a manipulative love interest done perfectly and not cliched. Well, not cliche. I don't know what I mean done just done right. I don't think you can only do that in in a movie made for adults. I think you can get away with it in like a kids family movie, but like it's easier to flesh out in an adult movie. Like every time like when I watch Get Out, like from now on, every time like Chris realizes that the keys aren't there, he asks where are those keys, Rose. I just imagine her saying, "Oh, Chris, if only there was someone out there who loved you." Yeah, basically that's if you were. I mean, I think making Hans a villain was a stupid idea in the first place. I think that move. I think that since that movie was talked about ideas like what love isn't. A better twist would have been if he kissed her, but it didn't work because they weren't actually in love. That maybe he really wanted to get away from his abusive family, and he had a really great connection with this girl, and he thought it was love, and she thought it was love, but it wasn't, and that's okay. Like I think that's a lot of that's a I think that would be more clever. I think that would be a better I think that would be a better message for like the young viewers. But no, gotta have a shocking twist, even though it doesn't make sense. And while we're on the subject, as much credit as that movie gets for like subverting cliches, get it's like getting rid like getting live like fixing a love triangle by making one part of it a complete douche or cheater or whatever is the most cliched thing in the book. Like it's so cliched that Saved by the Bell did it like 20 some years ago. It's like, and what's worse is that it's actually kind of anti-feminist because it's almost always a love triangle between with two men and one woman because it basically makes up the woman's mind for her. Like okay, one guy's a douche, so go to the so I'll gonna be with the other guy. Um, it's like it because like it takes away. I mean, as much as people complain about Full House, like magically everybody hates it now, but like they had like in the last season they had a storyline wherein DJ, the oldest of the sisters, like she was caught between two really nice guys who had one of them she broke up with, the other one he broke up with her like kind of sporadically, and like but they were both having second thoughts and they both wanted to be with her, but they were both fighting over her, so she was annoyed by that, obviously. So she said, "I'm choosing neither of you," and she was really broken up over it because even though like stuff was tense, they were both really nice and she really liked them both. It's like why can't there be more stories where that happens, where it's just like I'm not choosing either of you. I can't handle this. I can't handle this. Why don't you just date each other? In fact, that would be brilliant. So it's and it's just like also there's the fact that Anna and her other love interest, who I swear to God looks like Owen Wilson on steroids. That's another thing. They were both ugly. Why did she have to pick either of them? But that's just me. But it's just like she and her other love interest had no chemistry. Even movies, even like other Disney movies where the couple doesn't know each other very long, they have better chemistry. Like what there's it's like the other Disney movies, they create couples who have better chemistry, who also only knew each other for a brief time, but like I just felt nothing. I felt nothing. I I felt for the reindeer. Yeah, the reindeer is the best character in the movie. Um, uh, I really like the other like recent Disney movies I've seen. Like I love Big Hero 6. I mention like my favorite One True Pairing from Big Hero 6 all the time, but I really like the movie in general. Um, I I think that movie has the closest Disney's ever come to making a truly sympathetic villain. Like, of course, a lot of fans don't see him that way. They think that he's just evil because, like, he inadvertently caused the death of the hot guy. So, but it's just like, fandoms have such double standards because, like, people will clamor for characters who practically want the world to burn. Like characters like I'm thinking of the MCU because technically that's Disney now. Like people like Loki and Killmonger, like people who literally have like thousands of bodies with the blood on their hands. They'll think, oh, he's just sad, he needs a hug. But like one guy is bent on revenge against some rich fuck who caused his child to, as far as he knows, be murdered. Like like he he caused Tadashi to die. He must burn. I'm just like bitches. But it's like it's only be well. What are your thoughts on the political implications of Black Panther? In terms of what? Like like in terms of what? Well, for one, I'm an anti-monarchist. I'm an anarchist, so like I'm very like really anti-monarchist. So I don't believe in monarchies. However, if you're talking about one of the worst hashtags I think I've ever seen was Killmonger was right, because it's like they heard his fake woke platitudes because it worried. They heard like his fake woke platitudes, but like then after that they shut their brain off and like didn't realize, okay, this guy has like thousands of bodies worth of blood on his hands. He killed people training for the CIA. He as I understand it, he helped Claw to get the vibranium that caused a lot of Wakandans to die. Um, let's see. See a Dead Man animations. He he doesn't seem to have any respect for the culture that he supposedly wants to be the king of, such as he murdered their spiritual leader in cold blood. He choked out a tribal elder. Um, he ordered the Black Panther flowers to all be burned. Like, so little respect for the culture he supposedly wants to rule over. He almost murders the princess, and he practically plunges the nation to a civil war. It's just like, so you think that he was right, and then you just shut off your brain and don't pay attention to any of the things he actually did or wanted to do. Like, he wanted to start an empire too, just because. Oh God. Yes, I do understand that. I do understand. I feel for the fact that Killmonger had to find his father's dead body when he was just a little babu. Um, I kind of assumed, it's not clear, but I assumed that uh, Killmonger was 5 when his father died because it was like during the LA riots, which were in 1992, and Michael B. Jordan was born in 1987. He and I are the same age. Excuse me. So yeah, I figured he was around that age, like age 5, 6, something like that. Um, and presumably he grew up in the system because like we don't know a whole lot about his life as far as the movie goes, but like he basically probably grew up in the system and was probably really angry at the world and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, not to go all Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but nice nice motive, still murder, still genocide, still attempted imperialism. Like, I'm not the kind of person who can just shut my brain off and like not think of the bigger implications. Like, I'm it's like, I'm sorry, you don't get to burn the world just because you're sad and angry. Yeah, Jamie J, I don't see it that way. Um, it's not. It's not even that he was radicalized, because you know what the original Black Panthers did? Yeah, they had armed resistance to protect Black communities. They also offered food. They offered food to school children, free lunches, free breakfast. They helped their communities. They didn't want to just arm them and just kill Whitey. As as I read Black Panther's motivation, at least. There's also the fact that he kills at least he kills two black women and tries to kill um a third, Shuri. So it's just like, so it's kind of like the misogyny law is so real. Uh, I remember once. I remember like last month. I came across this Tumblr post that said, I hated the ending of Black Panther because I thought there could be another way for T'Challa to negotiate with Killmonger. And did a quote from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where I said, yeah, maybe he could show him all his baby pictures and all those happy memories and make him good again. Followed by my Bitmoji with the sarcasm meter almost off the charts. I hate like, I don't really like explaining when I'm being sarcastic, because I think that should be obvious, but like, some people might actually think I'm serious. I don't know. Even though I've gone on massive rants on Tumblr talking about how much I hate that people try to basically use villains being sad as excuses for their actions. It's just like, no. That's there's a lot of tropes I hate, but there's that is just like uh, there's also like the kind of weaker version of that trope where schoolyard bullies get excused because they get like rated by their parents at home. They like they had a bad childhood and I don't know, but it's just like that doesn't excuse it. It's like it's it's like I was bullied in school. I didn't really give a shit about my tormentors' home lives, nor should I have had to, and nor should anybody else. It's like it's like those it's like the it's like all the asshole YouTubers who say I came into HJW because the left is going too far. It's like, no, you didn't, you little shit. That's on you. Nobody made you become a right wing apologist. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I think I'm gonna end it there. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the lovely chat. Uh, and I will see you around. Peace, love, and stay hydrated. That's great, some random geek. Okay, peace, love, stay hydrated. Bye-bye.